I am so excited to announce the release of Naviate Accelerate 2025.2.0 version. These new features and updates will also be available in the 2023 and 2024 versions. So make sure to check them all out in all three Revit versions. We have two new features, our style sweep available in all regions, and Norkart Import. This is only available for the Norwegian standard. We have a bunch of improvements for Unhide Elements, filter elements, and we've improved various features to now support fabrication parts. We also have a new feature for updating the schemas. Now, let's dive in and see how these new features and improvements work. The first new feature I want to show you in Naviate Accelerate is the style sweep to manage your object style. So this new feature provides efficient management of imported object styles within your Revit project. It is located within the Manage Project tab. So first we'll go to Manage Project, and right here we have our style sweep. Let's take a look at how it works. So at the top, I can select to manage either model objects, annotation objects, or imported objects. I have filters at the top where I can see used, not used, built in, and to hide any inspected object styles. I can even search up top to find a particular category. And then I have options to inspect, merge, delete, and purge unused. So let's take a look at inspecting some of our object styles. You can go ahead and select all the object styles I want to inspect and select to inspect them. We can now see which object styles are in use and which aren't. And we can also see by the colors if they have the same object style information. This will allow us to either merge or purge object styles. For example, I could select these object styles that have the same information and merge them together. I could also delete any object styles that I see that aren't in use, or completely purge unused, which will remove any inspected object styles that are not in use. If I select an object style that is in use, I can see which families are using it or which elements are using it, and I can show those elements in my view. This is really going to improve my project performance, reduce redundancies, enhance my organization and standardization, and simplify both the management of imported object styles for model, annotation, and any imported objects. And that's our new feature, the style sweep.
In this release of Naviate Accelerate, you can go to Naviate Link and Sync, Export Import, and import Norkart data. So this is only available in the Norwegian region. And here you can import the map file, and you can also download map data. So if I go to download, I will go to this web app, and here I can select which kind of data I want to download and for which area. I can also select what kind of coordinate system. If I have the data, I can go to import, select my file with Velifil, and then I will get all of the data this file contains, and then I can select what I want to create in my Revit model, which kind of material it should have, and which category. And when I've done all the changes I want, I can press import and import the map data to my Revit model.
we have an improvement to our Unhide Elements feature where you can choose which categories to not unhide. The Unhide Elements command has been enhanced to provide greater control over which hidden elements are revealed in a view. So previously, initiating the Unhide Elements command would automatically reveal all categories hidden by element within that view. With this improvement, upon running the Unhide Elements command, you are now presented with a categorized list of the hidden elements. This allows you to selectively unhide categories. You can choose categories you wish to remain hidden, and then these settings will be saved per user. So I've gone ahead and hidden a bunch of things in my view. And now when I launch the Unhide Elements command, I get a user interface that shows me all the categories in this view that is hidden. So now I can select which categories I want to remain hidden. For example, maybe I want my plumbing fixtures to remain hidden. Maybe I want my doors to remain hidden. And maybe I want the room separation lines to remain hidden. Once I do that, I can say unhide. And all other categories will be unhidden. We can see that doors remain unhidden and also plumbing fixtures. If I run the command again, we can see that those categories remained and remain checked on. And that is our improvement to the Unhide Elements feature. We have a new improvement in filter element, which was a much requested improvement from our ideation portal to exclude grouped elements. So now when using filter elements to select elements or save selections, you'll be able to exclude elements that are in a group. This is simple but really effective improvement. So here you can see that I have a group of elements in my view. Now when going to filter elements, and let's say I want to filter to select doors, I have a new toggle here to exclude elements in a group. So when toggled off, it works as it functioned before. And when toggling on, it will update and show you all the elements that aren't in a group. So let's go ahead and save. And we can see that it selected all of the doors, excluding the ones in the group. And if I were to run it again and modify to include elements not in the group, you can see that I worked as before. And that is the new improvement to filter elements.
All right, we have some new stuff sitting inside Accelerate for those fabrication users. We've actually updated a few of those different Accelerate commands to go ahead and make them actually work with those ITM parts. The first one I'd like to call out is this 3D Zones tool. So 3D Zones allowing us to push parameters to elements within that zoned space. We'll see as we jump into write parameters now, choose a zone in our building, we'll actually notice those fabrication pipework and ductwork options showing up. So this is something that previously you were not able to use on those categories, but now you can use on those categories. Moving on from those 3D zones up here, we'll find that filter elements and live selection have also both been updated to work with categories, and not just categories, but subcategories. So as we step into that filter elements tool, take a look inside MEP fabrication pipework or ductwork, as those are what I have loaded. We'll see that we actually have additional tiers we can go inside of. So if we wanted to go grab all straights within the project, I could use this to go ahead and select all fabrication ductwork straights. Again, giving us a little bit more flexibility in what we want to select. Just like filter elements, live selection also has these options inside. Just expand out that pipework or ductwork and you will see them waiting for you right there. Outside of filter elements and live selection, we'll also have one more update, inside color elements and combine parameters. Again, doing some of these same ideas, making those fabrication properties, parts, and pieces accessible to us inside Accelerate. Color elements will now, as we jump in to take a look at something fabrication pipe or ductwork related, we'll actually notice as we jump in to look at something like fabrication service, it's able to provide us a value now. Previously, as we jumped into these elements, we didn't actually see that value. We jump in here and all we would see is a numbered element instead. So as we have brought that in and are actually able to go ahead and call out that map value here, we are able to see those colors applying this way as well. If we move into combined parameters, it will be a similar story, where combined parameters previously, when using something like service, would provide us a number value. But if we go down and we grab some ductwork here, find that fabrication service, and map that over to something like comments, we'll be able to push that service right in, and we'll notice that as we go to take a look at it, it is populating with that full text string instead. So again, getting rid of those numbers and providing proper data. The last item I'd like to comment on is not necessarily fabrication part specific, but is something we run into a lot with fabrication users. Really though, this is going to benefit anyone who is leveraging assemblies inside Revit. We've gone into those common tools, namely the Edit Sheet Parameters and Revision Manager inside Sheets and Views, and open up the tree placement or tree options inside there instead. So looking inside Revision Manager, as this opens up, we will notice that we have a list of sheets and then a list of assemblies, providing us a very easy way to minimize the sheets and find exactly the assemblies that we would like to work with, allowing me to select all of those assembly sheets and go ahead and assign a revision or do any of the other workflows that exist inside here. As we jump to Edit Sheet Parameters, it is the exact same story, with those two trees waiting for us and the ability to come down to assemblies, select those assemblies, and then mass edit any of those sheet parameters that we have waiting inside.
A new tool has been introduced to help users effectively resolve potential data conflicts that may arise when opening multiple Revit projects with a single session. Depending on the configured settings for various Naviate features, a quote data conflict warning might appear when multiple projects are open simultaneously in Revit. Failure to address these conflicts before saving could lead to permanent data loss. The new Update Schema tool allows you to update all affected data storages within the current project in a single operation. And this enables you to efficiently convert an entire project if you are encountering any data conflict issues. Note that it is important to ensure data integrity. It is crucial that all users working on the affected projects are using the latest version of the application. And I wanted to make another note that this update schemas does not change any loadable families. So how do you go ahead and do this? This is located within the Manage Project tab of Naviate Accelerate. And within the Manage Project down, we have a drop down here for the group. So you can select the drop down and we have our Remove Schemas, which was moved here from the main Manage Project toolbar, and Update Schemas. By selecting Update Schemas, you will get this dialog. Please make sure to read it carefully. This explains what is happening. So this tool will update the extensible storage for all Naviate products found in the current document to the latest version. The update doesn't change loadable families. Before the conversion, please close all open modeless Naviate dialogs. And to prevent data loss after the conversion, all users of the current project must be updated to the latest Naviate versions. You can then choose to update the schemas, and you can also view the help about schema version updates. Let's select to update the Naviate schemas, and that's all you have to do. Your schemas have successfully been updated. And that's everything you need to know about the Update Schemas feature. And there we have it. Those were all of the new features and improvements to Naviate Accelerate's 2025.2.0 version. And remember, these new features and improvements are also available for 2023 and 2024. You can download them from either the Naviate.com download page or the My Symetri Portal's application tab. And make sure to read about all of these new features and improvements at Naviate.com's release news for Naviate Accelerate and all of our other products.